It's Thursday.
Bye.
It's Loose Gadgies. Today, it's awesome. Food-related questions, sparking perhaps some arguments, interesting debates, and revealing things about your character, perhaps. So I'm going to line up some questions, some quick-fire questions for Mark. You need to listen carefully, and you need to put your answers in the comments, because I want to see how controversial this gets. I think some of these are pretty controversial. One of them Mark added on at the end, which I think was worth including. So I'm going to rattle these off. Bearing in mind I already know your feelings on the last one, but this one. So, are burgers and hot dogs sandwiches?
Well, I never really thought about it, but now that you mention it, in my world, they're just sandwiches, yeah.
Do you know, in some places they put cheese on a cheeseburger on the bottom.
No, that's just wrong on all levels.
Isn't it?
Never
It
mind
is.
a lift. You know.
It is. Oh, bringing that one in again. You managed to get that in both episodes this week. No, there was a whole debate. I was just hunting around for some of these thoughts and questions and seeing if other people had these same mad thoughts that I do. And someone said, "Oh, where should you put cheese in the cheeseburger?" Well, it goes on the top
So if you
because it has
if you
to
made
melt.
here's
on
one
top,
for you
doesn't
on
it?
the sandwich front. If you made us, let's say we've got bun, yeah, we've got brioche bun or any type of bun. If I made the sandwich the wrong way around and I come to put it together, if the stuff was the wrong way around, would you put it right?
Or if I had mixed up which was the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you put normally we would start with, let's just say, meat on the bottom, and then we're putting some lettuce and tomato or whatever on the top, or whatever you put on, cheese. But if we'd done it the wrong way around, I would go to the trouble of sorting it out.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah?
I would. Do you know what's just as bad?
What?
Opening your bag of crisps at the bottom. It's a crime, that.
Yeah.
It's a crime. It's bad luck. It's bad luck. You've got to open it at the top.
You think?
I hate it when I've done it. When I haven't been looking and I've just opened it, been eating from it, going, "Gosh, I've opened it at the bottom." Oh no, the world's going to win.
What about, here's one for you, bananas.
Oh,
So-
you should open them
yeah.
at the bottom. Same
Yeah.
as monkeys do. You pinch the little nub
Yeah.
at the bottom, and it pops open. Whereas most are grabbing the top, trying to bend it and snap it. No. Well, if you look at how monkeys eat them,
Yeah.
they just pinch the bottom, and it actually opens itself up.
Yeah.
Revelation when I heard that a few years ago. I was like, really?
Yeah. Anita,
I've been doing it that way since.
Anita wanted a banana, and I went in the kitchen, got the banana, and I started peeling it for her. She was like, "What you doing?" And she basically looked at me as if I'd done something wrong because I was peeling it at the opposite end.
You know, sometimes change comes slowly, Mark, and you have to
It does.
introduce it in bits. So,
Yeah.
next question.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. Didn't you have an experience regarding burgers while you were away?
Oh yeah, we were sort of. So we're all, you know, when it comes to cooking, us men, you know, we're not interested in the kitchen really. But as soon as it becomes about barbecue, we're out and we're getting out there and we want to get our hands on stuff. So I was working in Denmark recently and they'd done a barbecue, and I was the last one in to get some food, and so I made my sandwich, sat down at the table, got this big burger bun, picked it off my plate, stuck it in my mouth, looked up, and there's these 12 guys all staring at me. And I'm like, and I looked at the client I was with, and I was like, "What's the matter?" And he went, "Look at the rest. They're all using a knife and fork to eat their burger with. A knife and fork with a burger."
Ridiculous. I mean, did they do that with a ham sandwich?
Well,
I mean, because it's technically a sandwich, right? So you're saying, right, I'm gonna cut a little, like a pie chart. I'm just gonna cut it into segments and pick that up with a fork. Are you joking? Then what's the point in having bread around it? If it was a burger on its own, I could warrant a knife and fork. But it's in a bun.
yeah,
You pick it up. Now I will grant you a napkin. If you put the napkin underneath to stop the, if you're wearing a shirt, you don't want the sauce falling out the bottom. So you
Yeah.
put a napkin underneath, but nah. That's etiquette gone too far. That.
Well, it was just the fact that I didn't know that a country does it completely different way. The whole
If
country.
anything, you'd think that would be us lot over
Yeah,
here. Oh,
yeah,
make sure you use a knife and fork.
yeah. I mean, you go to a.
Stick your little finger out.
Let's talk about hamburgers where they started quickly, but they started off at little vans and whatnot, didn't they? And fast food from McDonald's.
It
And
is a fast food.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
so
not a delicate food, is it?
in the
Yeah,
wrap on the go.
Yeah, smash your face.
Yeah,
So this next one's been the subject of much debate. I'm not sure it'll ever be settled, and I doubt there'll ever be agreement amongst most. But how crispy should your bacon be? Bearing in mind, my dad kills it to the point where the whole thing's just rock hard, and you bite into it and it just crumbles in the sandwich.
well, yeah. I mean, there's
There's no give
variation
left in it.
across my family, but I have to say, if I see a bit of fat flapping around, I'm just doing one of my jokes, which is, a decent vet will get that back on its legs, and that's where I'm at. We talked the other week about I like rendering down the fat a little bit and then
Yes.
crisping it up.
I've passed that on.
Yeah, but
Pass that on with you.
I'm not. If it's oinking at me, I'm cutting it off and I'm not eating it. So-
The air fryer's somewhat revolutionised my
Yeah.
or evolved my way of cooking bacon, because it's not like you can only put it in for full minutes. You kind of put like 7.5 or 6.5. It has to be full minutes. I know I can lift the lid up halfway through, but I've been putting it in for like 200 for something like 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes, something like that, and it's been coming out all caramelised around the edge, and I went, that's not how I'd normally do it. Look, I'm hungry. Hide it in. Revelation. So crispy around the edges, around the fat, but it's still got to be soft enough to bite through. It can't be like a crunchy thing. That's my take. But I think somewhere in between's a good thing. Having some caramelization on it.
Here's one. Anita said to me the other day. So I was doing some in the frying pan, and she says, "Don't do it in the frying pan. Do it in the grill. It tastes different."
It would taste worse because all the fat drops off it into the tray and the bottom.
So,
In my opinion, it needs to cook in its own stuff.
Well, yeah. She just said, I don't like the taste of the bacon when it comes out of the frying pan. I only like it when it's grilled.
Is that because is it a gas grill?
Yeah.
It
No,
might
no,
be because it's been cooked with gas.
it's
Is it?
electric. It's electric. It's a gas
Electric.
hob, but an electric grill.
Ah, right.
So,
Interesting. I
yeah,
would have thought it'd be the other way around, because if you're cooking it in its own fat, then it's gonna, maintain more flavour.
yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected it that way around, mine.
I mean, I think you're right. Grilling it. It's going to come out like Gandhi's flip flops, isn't it?
Aye, it's all the flavour's going to drop into the tray in the bottom,
Yeah.
and you're going to lose it. So, this might not sound like a relevant question, but for someone like me, it is. What order do you remove eggs from the carton? Is it centre out from the sides, or does it not matter?
I thought about this because Anita's sort of in charge of the eggs, and she goes full free range. Hens have had a manicure, pedicure, and been well looked
yeah.
after. Really.
Yeah, I paid a little bit extra for them. I won't buy battery hen eggs anymore.
No, I don't like eating batteries. I mean, they're not good for you. They're only good for
No. Don't want any of them Duracell chickens.
No. I thought about it before, and she's a right to left person, so emptying from the right towards the left.
See, I'm all about balancing out the box when I pick it up, so I either take from the sides and work to the centre, so that all the weight's in the centre, or if it's a bigger box, not just your 6, maybe it's a 12 or a 10 or something, I'll pick them from the sides, and then I'll move the centre into the sides so the box is evenly balanced, because I think when I'm picking it up, I don't want it to be tipping one way or the other, like favouring so that when I pick it up and it might fall out my hand. So if I pick up a box that's weight balanced, I'm less likely to drop it.
Yeah.
I'm overthinking it, obviously, but
Well, you just made me think. So we've got a wooden egg tray, yeah.
mm-hmm.
So it's got the little inserts where you can put your eggs in.
Yeah, I've got plastic ones for the fridge.
Yeah, we never use it. We put the egg carton on top of that implement.
I know. I know. I stood one day and thought, "Why am I doing that again?"
Yeah.
So I've tried to remind myself, because it's always a cardboard carton. So I'm like, look, take them out, recycle the carton, and use this thing. But then when I put them in the plastic thing, I then go from front to back. So I'll start from, well, I say front to back. Front as in the right hand side if it's facing me. So I'll always go from one side to the other. When they're sat in the little holder,
Yeah.
I'll pick them from one side. But when they're in a box, I'm thinking about how balanced the box is, because I'm going to be picking it up. So
Out of date eggs.
oh, my eggs sit in I've got eggs in there now that have probably been in there 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't check. I think, well, if they've been in the fridge, it's not like eggs go mouldy, right?
Well, I'm with you. I mean, there's a test you can do in water, isn't there? That if they sink and if they rise.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you put them in a tumbler of water. If they rise to the top, they're good or not good. If they go at the bottom, they're dead. You don't use them.
I will investigate.
Yeah. Do that
I'll
one.
investigate, because I don't like to waste stuff like milk. I've had milk. The stuff that I've just, what's it now, the 25th. I had stuff last night that was just on the turn, you know.
Mm.
You could smell it, and it made a cup of tea. It was fine, but I thought if I left that another day or so, because I'm not drinking a lot of tea at the minute with it being hot. Hot drinks cool you down, you know. That's what your mum says. Nah, it's not true. The official end date on that was the 17th, and I only hid it out late last night, so sort of midnight-ish on the 24th, 25th, and it had only just started to turn. But I've had some stuff last 2-3 weeks beyond. So sniff test, and I noticed on me carton of Tropicana, because I hadn't had that in ages. I thought, ooh, let's get some juice, bit summery. Bought myself some strawberries, some juice. Want to make myself some smoothies and that. That even says on the carton, look, sniff, taste, or sight, sniff, smell, taste, something like that. It said that on the side of the box. I went, well, it's right. You can taste when the orange has gone off, because it's got this weird sort of fizzy, sour taste to it. Like, well, not like Andy. Do you remember Andy? Stockroom Andy Chambers. I remember having a discussion with him about this very subject, and he got quite heated about it. He went, no, as soon as something reaches the date, whether it's got any blue bits on it or not, it goes straight in the bin. So a loaf for him, even if he's only halfway through the loaf, if it matches the date, goes in the bin. No. I'm like, what? But a loaf, you can stretch another couple of days out of it usually. Or if you're like me, you leave it in the freezer and only take out and defrost the stuff you want to use. Or you hide it straight in the toaster. The toasters have a frozen option on them these days to give it an extra minute or so. So that's the best way to do it. But now there's loads of things on there that it's more of a best before than a use by date.
Correct.
So
to the
I'll
point
have
now,
a sniff.
A lot of the retailers have took their best before dates off, haven't they, or their sell by dates off?
Yeah, or they've changed it to use by.
Yeah.
So getting to that, where do you put your ketchup and your mayo? Fridge, cupboard, bench? Me, it's the fridge, especially when they're open. Go in the fridge.
Yeah, we just did a little bit of a conversion recently. I don't know why it just happened that way, but you're right. We ketchup and brown sauce are in the fridge, but we've recently took out with jam and put them in the cupboard.
See, me peanut butter's on the bench, and I keep wanting to put it in the fridge, but I'm like, nah, then it'll be too stiff to spread. It'll not spread right now.
Yeah.
Well, peanut butter doesn't seem to go off anyway. It just seems to last forever, that stuff. But jam I've always put in the fridge to try and extend its life.
We were away at the weekend, and as I tend to do, I like to have something nice to eat. So I bought a tub of Nutella, and
Oh, I never
yeah,
got one of them yesterday.
and I made the fatal
It's been
mistake of putting it
ages.
in the fridge.
I want to go hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
And of course, you're basically left like to try and scoop out like you would scoop out hard ice cream out of a freezer. You're left with taking little bits, chunks out.
Aye.
So
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. I might have made that same mistake. To be
yeah,
honest, thinking it's probably got some active ingredient in it that makes it soft rather than hard, so it'll probably stay soft, right? Nah.
yeah. I was more because it was quite warm outside, and I was thinking, oh, shouldn't really leave it out. But I made the even worse mistake of putting it in the fridge.
So if you left it out, is it still set, or does it soften when you leave it out of the fridge?
Yeah, it goes as you would expect. Nutella goes spreadable. It's a bit like your peanut butter. It's it's good to go, as they say.
So onto sauces and whatnot, spread and the like. Pour or dip your sauce,
Oh,
or is
yeah.
it situation dependent?
Well, it's a good one. So situation dependent. At home, if we were doing gravy, we'll have a gravy bowl. We'll share between us, so it's on. But if we're out, recently we went out for Sunday lunch, and we got a gravy bowl each. Anita's a pour on, and I'm a dipper. What are you?
Oh, even on Sunday dinner, the gravy
Yeah,
you would dip
I
it
would
into the gravy.
Yeah, I would go dipper.
Interesting. You've got to have a gravy though, unlike me brother's other half, who's you don't put gravy on your dinner. I said, well, your gravy's meant to taste of all the other things on the dinner, so it then marries the flavours together when you pour it on. So then you're always tasting things from the dinner. It's a bit like adding salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Those things are meant to bring out the flavours, like as Gordon Ramsay calls them. They're like magnifying glasses for flavour. So, well, you're not actually tasting the salt. You're tasting an enhanced version of the food until you put too much salt on. Then you start tasting salt, right? So, gravies performs the same function. It marries all of this stuff together and creates an overall flavour. But I think if it's a steak, sauce is on the side of the plate and it's dipped. Or if you're when you're in the pub and you get them little pots. It's not all of them do. Although I do like a pub that just gives you a bottle of sauce. There you go. I'm not going to give you them little tubs or put something into one of them little pottery dishes. There you go, there's some mayonnaise. No, just give us a bottle. I love it when they've just got a bottle of Heinz and a bottle of something else. You can just squirt it on. But ketchup with steak though, I don't like to spoil the steak. The steak has to sit on its own. Don't be giving me any of them Diane sauces or the peppercorn sauces and that, and smothering the steak so it's now covered completely, because some of the flavour of the steak is on the outside itself. If you've caramelised it right, that's half the flavour right there is on the outside, and you're going to coat it in something. What's wrong with you? So certain things I like to dip, but in general with chips and that, it just goes on the top.
Yeah, yeah. It was because I get that thing about chips and stuff like that. I want them crispy, but if you're putting too much ketchup on, or you turn everything soggy before you've eaten it.
There's that argument. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
stuff
I'm with
like
that.
beans on toast we were talking about before. I just
Well,
don't.
that's next on. That was next on the list.
Oh, the next. All right, go on then.
So, do you put your beans straight on top of the toast, or do you put your toast on the side?
I always on the side. I don't. There's nothing worse than a soggy bit of toast, which is basically bread again. So I just no thanks.
See, I've generally got a central piece.
I want
with the beans
a
on.
little spoon, and I want to scoop up my beans, and I want to put it on top of my toast, and I want my toast to hold it, and then I want to eat it.
See, I have a central piece that I put the beans on, and then I scoop them off onto the other bits, and then sort of eat the toast that way. And then I've got this bit that's usually got some beans left on it, and I use that to kind of mop up the plate. But if it's ravioli, if it's tinned ravioli, I usually hide that in a bowl, hide it in the microwave, grate some cheese on it, but then all my toast is on the side, and I'll dip my toast in. So it seems a bit. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
Somewhere
nice.
in the middle. I agree with the whole. It goes soggy, so you're basically making it a wet bit of bread.
Yeah, pretty horrible.
So, all that, I wonder what kind of debate that's gonna. I think we upset somebody with the crisp sandwich debate last time. It was in all capital letters. They don't want any crisps on their sandwiches. But, oof, I think I provoked a little bit too much controversy there. But for next week, though, I want to leave you with some questions. A couple of questions. Are Kit Kats made from broken Kit Kats? There's one. Now, I think I've, thanks to you, been learning a truth about Kit Kats, but I'm going to go research it. And penguin biscuits, are they basically a bourbon covered in chocolate? Something to think about for next week. But biscuits are coming up at least next Thursday, and it's going to be quite a debate.
Yeah, because they're doing Jaffa cakes.
Jaffa, it's a cake, man. It goes hard when you leave it out, and it's made with eggs. And it's not orange that's in them, but I'll cover that next week. So, until then, some comments down below. I expect plenty of healthy debate on this. Some likes and shares and subscribes. But until the next fruity debate, take care.